Alex Pereira needs to give up his light heavyweight belt, and Tom needs to keep his. Now, how do we get to that conclusion? First off, I am very confident in telling you Alex Pereira is going to be on the White House card. Question comes against who? Now, Alex Pereira is the champion of the world, but there is no conversation about Alex and Olberg. And there is nobody else at 205 pounds that would make sense. So I believe that Alex is going to come out and he's going to be a heavyweight on the White House card. I also believe he's going to take on Ciryl Gane. I also believe if you take a sitting world champion and you move him weight classes and he fights, it's not just because. It's for a belt. So this is where the idea of the interim title comes from. But this is important because there is a discussion that we need to go and strip Tom, that they need to be fighting for the undisputed title. It's the White House. It's special. Tom is out. Let's get Pereira versus Ciryl and let's do it for the belt. Well, I think we're close on that. I just think it's the interim belt. And there was some discussion going around that Tom had been asked to vacate the title. The way the story goes is that the UFC asked Tom, vacate the title. You do it. It's a PR thing, right? I mean, it's our belt. We take it back whenever we want, but that's not what we want to do. You were hurt. You were hurt in our cage. You're out. Your next fight will be for the belt. It just won't be a situation where you're defending the belt. So it's really everybody wins. And this is the way the story goes. That Tom said, no problem. Release me. I'll vacate if you release me. I like your idea. I hear everything you're saying. We can have a discussion about re-signing and coming back in and getting my belt, but it'll keep my options open. If you want me to do this, here's what I want. Now, first off, that doesn't seem like something Tom would say. But this is the way the story goes. And if Tom did say that, respect. Respect, because he's standing up for himself. And Tom has the right to stand up for himself because people do have a very short-term memory on how Tom got to where Tom got. I think they forget that he tore his knee against Curtis Blades, has to fall down and hold his knee in pain, take the loss, do it in front of his own crowd, spend a year out, return, questioning himself, is ring rust real? They put him right into an environment where he's the headlining fight, which means off of an injury, he's got to go do 5 rounds. It's a very hard spot. Never even got outside the first. Got his confidence back, got his momentum back, started to build some steam. I mean, all the stuff he did. He's on a trajectory. He agrees to John Jones. He doesn't hold anybody up for money. He doesn't hold anybody up for time. I mean, he's doing anything that he can do. And frankly, he did everything right. He was a massive team player. He was a massive star. I think you might forget how he captured the interim title in the first place. I think that you might forget about the fight against Sergey Pavlich where Tom was in England. They put this thing together so fast that Tom's wife couldn't even come and join him. And this is a moment, Madison Square Garden, this is a moment for the family, for the sacrifice of the family. They put it together so fast, Tom had to get on a plane without her. They couldn't even get the logistics work. That's a special thing. Tom did all of these things. And I just feel like we forgot that pretty quickly. And if that happened that way, if Tom said, sure, I'll vacate, release me. It's an interesting thing. Now, I know that Tom wants to box, and that's where you can overplay your hand. There is no boxing out there for Tom. There's no boxing out there for any of them. And boxing also is not what they think. It is not just this huge payday, and it's none of these things that they think that it is. And you do have those outlier stories. You do have a McGregor versus Mayweather. But McGregor versus Mayweather didn't happen because McGregor stood up to the UFC. McGregor versus Mayweather happened and was a success because the greatest carnival barker of all time was in Conor's corner supporting it because Conor remained under contract with the UFC. It's a little different than many people remember it, or even the Francis situation. The Francis situation was a real one-off, and it was right place, right time, and you had the Middle East, and they were coming up with some money, and they were doing some boxing stuff, and they were willing to take a gamble on it. I mean, I'm only sharing for you. They're now partners with the UFC. That opportunity's not there. And I don't want to rain on Tom at all. I'm just sharing, if you can box and you can do MMA, it's the same commissions, it's the same process, just by example. And the opportunity would be in MMA. There is no world title opportunity in boxing. There's also no big paycheck in boxing. This is fiction. But Tom would have those options open, and if that's important to him, I would have no problem with him saying that. I'm not overly confident in telling you guys that he did. It's just something that it'd be a little out of line for the way that Tom would normally operate. So keep that thought and do what you would like with it. But now let's take a look at Alex Pereira, because if Pereira is going to go to if he is going to go to heavyweight, then he needs to be a heavyweight. I don't think that Pereira would disagree with me. And I don't think that Pereira would have any problem giving the 205-pound belt back. There's a massive example being set here by Pereira, or at least an opportunity to be said. Let me just work this a different way. John Jones, let's take a trip down memory lane. John Jones is the light heavyweight champion. Same thing that Alex Pereira is. John Jones decides he would like to pursue the heavyweight championship. So instead of working with the company, he goes into business for himself. He gives the belt back. This wasn't greatly perceived, but it's John, and there's a little room here. And then he sat for 3 years. For 3 years, he stayed out trying to gain the size to be heavyweight. Very humble thing for John to do, because frankly, John could have stepped in and won that heavyweight belt with no time off, but I'm just telling the story the way that it happened. So if Pierre is to do the exact same thing, I'm the light heavyweight champ, I want to pursue the heavyweight championship. Hey, by the way, I don't need any time. Let's go. I can fight light heavyweight on this date, or I can fight heavyweight. Either way, let's go. Gangster move. Very in line with what Alex Pereira does, right? But I don't think that we're looking at it quite right. I don't think it's bad if they fight for the interim championship at all. At all. I think that's great. I do think if Pereira and Ciryl fight, there's got to be a belt. It needs to be scheduled for a potential 5 rounds. Pereira is the champion of the world. If the champion of the world fights, a championship of the world's got to be on the line. That can be the interim. But as opposed to the idea that, hey, it's got to be Tom's belt. Nothing personal, Tom. We got to move on, and it's got to be for the undisputed championship. No, I don't agree with that. But I would agree that of that scenario, the one that does have to be stripped or to vacate the belt would be Pereira. And I don't think that Pereira would disagree. I don't think Pereira would care in the least. Let those guys get on with it. If it doesn't work out at heavyweight and I want to go back here, I'll come in, and whoever's champion, I'll see you. I mean, in the words of Ciryl Gane, you deal with that monster.